Hey there, I'm attorney Jason McGrath with the law firm of McGrath and Spielberger. I want to talk to you for a few minutes today about the Servicemembers Civil Relief Act, also called the SCRA, and foreclosure cases. And we're going to focus on foreclosure cases in the Carolinas, although the SCRA really is being a federal law, it applies across the country. But let's take a somewhat common scenario, unfortunately. You've got a foreclosure case filed by the bank or the bank's agents, the lender's agents basically. And in South Carolina, that's probably a full lawsuit. In North Carolina, that's probably the shortcut kind of lawsuit, this quasi-judicial procedure that North Carolina has, which is unique in the United States. In any case, presumably, if you're able to and willing to, you're going to participate in that foreclosure case. And by participate, I mean that you're going to resist it. And you're going to attempt to negotiate something with the bank, whether it's to save the home or save the property or to get rid of it under some circumstances that are not as damaging to your life and your credit as a foreclosure would be. But sometimes, if you're a member of the military and you're active duty, you may not be able to fully participate in that case. You may have a foreclosure hearing or even a foreclosure trial that is scheduled on a particular date and you simply can't be there. Well, you might go to the other side, the opposing lawyer or the substitute trustee attorney, which is really who the bank or the foreclosing party has hired to prosecute the foreclosure case. And you might say to them, hey, I can't be there because of my job commitments. And by the way, in this case, my job is being part of the military for our country, and I don't really have a choice here. I'm under orders to be elsewhere. And hopefully the other side's going to work with you, but sometimes they don't, or sometimes they misunderstand the law. We just had a case, literally yesterday we were working on this case, where the law firm that was prosecuting the foreclosure on behalf of the bank was not agreeing to postpone the foreclosure hearing, a really important hearing, even though we had proved that our client, who's in the Marines, couldn't be there because he had orders to be elsewhere out of state while the hearing was going on. And they said, oh, well, the North Carolina statute says this and says that, and because of the timing of when he got us, I said, no, this is a federal law. Number one, would you please read the information, the legal motion that we sent to you? It summarizes it very clearly and concisely. So if you would have spent 5 minutes looking it over, you would know that we're not talking about North Carolina law, we're talking about federal law, and that's going to trump whatever you might want to do with regard to this foreclosure case. And to that law firm's credit, they did take a second look after we asked them to, and they agreed to postpone the hearing by at least 90 days because federal law basically says, and again, there's always some exceptions, and you have to make sure that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's, but in general, it says that if you can prove that you're active duty and you can't be present at a court event, legal proceeding because of your active duty, orders and such, then you're entitled to at least a 90-day continuance, a stay of the proceeding, essentially. This is independent of whether you got the house before or after you started your service. It's independent of some other state laws, that kind of thing. This is a federal law. So just know, and this really applies to almost any kind of legal case, not just foreclosures, but we're just talking about foreclosures right now because that is one of the focuses here at my firm and with myself, the foreclosure cases. So if you've got a foreclosure hearing coming up and you can't be there and because you're active military and you've got orders to be elsewhere, you're going to need to be able to prove that by documentation in advance and make sure that the court, the hearing officer, everybody involved has a copy of that and is aware of it. And you're going to need to have, you should at least have a formal motion. So you may still need attorney help, but you should at least educate yourself and be mindful that you probably are entitled to at least a 90-day postponement of whatever that court event is or that case in general if you truly can't be there, because it would simply be unfair to penalize you for not attending and not participating and having some kind of court order against you when you legitimately couldn't be there because of your service orders. So I want to let you know about that, and if you need any kind of help with any of your cases, be sure to contact us and we'll assist where we can.